It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Here's Wentz to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Desmond King picks it. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away. And they've got to scramble to get back.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw going into the hands of Williams. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, these two teams met in Indy earlier in the year with the Colts coming out on top. So a win here in Houston would give them the season sweep.
Now left side on the swing pass. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Now Wentz.
Fighting Hilton on the slant. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed.
And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Faking the give. Now Watson.
He'll find the rookie from Michigan, Nico Collins.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And the Eagles out in front early. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They run. This is Scarborough. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there. So they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And the Colts are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. To throw, it's Wentz. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Scarborough. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to next-gen stats. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Throwing his Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Now the ball comes loose, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And incomplete on the deep ball.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a 2nd one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a nice kick there as they're able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held it. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. This is Scarborough. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. They'll roll him out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach.
These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the 22, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. Watson off play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Able to get away. Escaping the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Grover Stewart drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is brought in at the 21. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, Wentz. He's airing it out for Williams. On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Here's Watson. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Here we go. Here we go. Mike, check. 59.
On 2nd and 10. Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation. Run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd down, right back to Hines. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, Wentz. And that's caught by the tight end, Granson. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And some room to work. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. 76 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Carson Wentz. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
To throw is Watson. And this will be swung out for Lindsey. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
You got 3 down. Mike, 59.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Mike, check, 59. We own it.
After the interception, here's Watson. Flushed out right. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
A 27-yard attempt.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, one-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Got an open man, that's Campbell. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Back to throw, Wentz. That ball caught by Campbell. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
And he's in for the touchdown, and barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield,